Hi everybody, thank you so much for listening. I'm going to talk about a case study of how we took an old-timey fundraising campaign online at Barnardo's Ireland, and I hope it might be useful to those of you who are working in slightly older organisations and maybe working on appeals that have been running for a long time. The campaign I'm going to talk about is our annual Christmas fundraising appeal, which traditionally focused on direct mail. We also have a Christmas toy appeal where people donate toys for the children that we work with, which happens completely offline. We did always over the years do online fundraising asks, but they are mostly just repeating the Christmas DM ask on various online platforms. So just a bit about our organisation. We're Ireland's leading children's charity. It is a great organisation, but like with many older charities, there's a lot more comfort with traditional fundraising than with digital fundraising. It's only in recent years that digital has been considered from the start of a campaign rather than just kind of tacked on at the end. And a few of us in communications and fundraising made a really big push this time for digital to be integrated from the start with a very clear online strategy. So what we did was we built an integrated campaign and put one single story at the heart of it. It's a true story from our services about a little boy called Ben living in poverty who woke up on Christmas morning the previous year to find nothing waiting for him. Because he's only 6 years old, of course he was devastated and thought that Santa had skipped his house on purpose. So the key objectives for the digital campaign were online donations and lead generation. Our organisation has been through the entire emotional roller coaster regarding digital fundraising over the years, that some of you might be familiar with, from thinking that the internet will make everything magical and easy to flatly stating that digital fundraising doesn't work. Understanding is now growing that while it can be difficult to get people to donate online directly from social media, it does offer great opportunities for list building and finding new prospects. And so with this campaign, we devised a softer ask to bring a social media audience on board. So we did this through a pledge. We asked people to pledge online to buy one extra gift and donate it to Barnardo's for a child like Ben. The pledge page was promoted on our website and through social media. When people pledged, we captured their email address and sent them a triggered series of emails, gently reminding them of their promise to donate a gift and keeping us at the front of their minds throughout the Christmas period. We created a number of pieces of content based on the Ben story to promote the pledge online. And by far the most successful was a really simple video, which we created using this app. It's called Adobe Voice for the iPad, and it's the single easiest content creation tool I've ever used. It allows you to create simple slideshow-style videos with text and graphics. So our video was really simple, but it worked really well. Because having text and images currently works really well on Facebook because they now autoplay videos in the newsfeed. So if you have strong text copy in your video, people will pick up your message without having to click play. So I'll show you just a few frames from the video so you can see just how simple it was. But it was viewed over 40,000 times on Facebook, engaged over 10,000 users, and had an organic reach of over 140,000. So thanks to pieces of content like this, the pledge page was shared nearly 2,500 times on social media. As I mentioned, we sent the pledge sign-ups a series of emails to keep them engaged throughout the Christmas period. So here's how we structured it. And we gently pushed the online donation option throughout, trying to convert people to online donors. The final email was sent close to Christmas and just before the deadline for the toy appeal, reminding them that if they didn't have time to buy a toy, they could donate online. So we were really happy with the engagement on these emails. It stayed high throughout the series with an open rate of 60% and a click rate of 25%. So in the emails, we asked people to tell us stories about the reasons they'd chosen the particular gifts they did, and we gathered them through a Tumblr. So we got some lovely emotional stories about people's own Christmas childhood memories, and we used some of the strongest stories in the emails and on social media to drum up further support and get further pledges. We also got stories from our staff about the impact of the gifts, how little the children expected, and what it meant to their families to be able to give them something at Christmas. It was sometimes difficult to get these stories because project staff are so busy, but it was really worth it. This post alone engaged over 1,000 people on Facebook. This was a spontaneous message of thanks, actually, that one of the project staff sent to the fundraising team. So we turned that into a bit of donor care on Facebook for everyone who donated a gift. And this got really good engagement and drove more sign-ups as well. So just a few results from the campaign. Please keep in mind that Ireland is tiny, so some of these numbers might sound a little unimpressive to you. There we are, actual size. So our website traffic went up by 40% over the previous year. So sorry, it's 2014 versus 2013. Nearly 1,000 people took the Christmas pledge, and 85% of them were completely new to us, and they've proven to be very relevant and engage new subscribers. Our average daily engagement rate on Facebook jumped from around 300 people a day to over 700 people a day during the Christmas campaign period, and we raised 28% more online income than we had the previous year. So just my kind of, to wrap up, I'll talk about my top tips and the key things I learned from this campaign, which are, firstly, take the time to find a strong story and put it at the centre of your campaign, and then tell that story in lots of different ways. We used photos, quotes, lots of different graphics. We made videos. We put together a photo essay, because different storytelling forms will resonate with different people. Use stories to fuel your campaign, stories from your supporters and from your staff. Social media is all about human connection and storytelling, so good stories will really help you to sustain the campaign. Devise a softer ask for social media, but make it relevant to the campaign and make sure it's something of value to your organisation. In our case, we got a lot of new prospects who are highly relevant. They're people who are interested in supporting children in poverty, and many of them did convert at Christmas and donated cash online, and we now have them as supporters that we can talk to about our other projects. Make sure you're segmenting and keep sending the higher value asks to your loyal supporters via email. And then finally, just use free tools. We generated all our content in-house and found that it didn't need to be slick and sophisticated. If there's a good story, it will resonate with your target audience. Adobe Voice, Tumblr and Storehouse, which is a photo essay app, were all really useful to us for this campaign, and they were all free. And obviously being able to do it on a low budget makes it much more attractive and much more likely to happen again. So thanks so much for listening, and if anyone wants to ask me questions about it afterwards, I'd be delighted to answer them. Thank you.